Hey, how's it going? John Dorsey here with JohnD.net. And today we're going to talk about faith and fear and how those are pretty much one and the same, except that they are a different direction or they differ in degree. Now, I'm going to go over these few bullet points about faith and fear. So basically, what faith and fear basically requires you to basically believe in the same energy. So basically, it's a belief in the unknown. When it comes to faith, you are believing in that something greater than yourself or something outside of your control is going to help you through the thing or achieve the thing you're trying to achieve. Fear also is the belief in the unknown. You're fearing something that it doesn't even exist, that may never come to pass, may never manifest itself in real life. So basically, faith and fear requires that you have this belief in the unknown. Next bullet point: you consider it real. You consider real what you can't see. So these are similar but different. These are similar statements, but they're different as far as faith and fear requires that you believe that what you have faith in is real, even though it hasn't really manifested itself in your everyday life. Fear also, you consider it's real, but you can't see it. So if you have a fear of, let's say, a breakup, you have fear of being mistreated, have a fear of getting sick, a fear of dying. That's you consider it real, but you can't see it. And also you have you believe in something that may never happen. So basically these are, like I said, similar. Next bullet point comes from your subconscious mind. So faith and fear lives in your subconscious mind. And if you've been paying attention or follow me, I've touched in previous videos how your conscious mind, the educated mind, the mind where all your information goes, and over time, the things you learn, the things you hear from society, the things you hear from the media, the things you hear from teachers at school, things you learn in school, the things you learn just from everyday life, eventually that stuff, depending on the kind of information you're getting, gets embedded into your subconscious mind. So if you're getting a lot of negative energy, a lot of negative information, a lot of negative knowledge, a lot of negative things from your outside world, like currently with the coronavirus thing, people are getting a lot of fear from the outside world, and they get enough of that over time, that gets embedded into their subconscious mind. And that once it's in there, it's hard to get out. So that fear that people feel from getting sick, possibly dying themselves, possibly a family member getting sick, and that family member dying themselves, that fear requires them to have a belief in that will actually happen, and they consider this fear real even though they can't see it. And that's because it's in their subconscious mind. So basically, once it's in the subconscious mind, it becomes real to them, but regardless of whether or not it actually is a real threat, regardless of whether or not that thing or whatever they fear will actually happen. Same thing with faith. It comes from the subconscious mind. So if you get a lot of positive energy from your outside world, you're getting a lot of positive feedback, you're learning things that will actually help you improve your health. You got things that help you improve your business, things that will help you get closer to success, things that will help you have a better relationship, things that will help you basically have a better overall quality of life. That same faith gets embedded in your subconscious mind because that's positive energy. We talked about that. And that still requires you to consider something real that you can't see. So the positive things you're getting requires you to have, one day I'm going to have this thing I want. One day I'm going to have this life I truly am striving to get. It has your belief in the unknown, as in this thing that you believe in doesn't exist. All right, next thing. It can be manipulated by the outside world. So your faith and fear is controlled. It can be manipulated by outside factors. Now, it's not controlled by outside factors. It's manipulated by outside factors. You control whether or not you have faith or fear in something. That's within your power, but the outside world can manipulate that for you to whether this fear or that faith controls your life. And that outside factor is what I talked about: in the media, society, friends and family, co-workers, stuff you see on TV. That's basically media, entertainment, the music you listen to, the information, the books you read, the education you're getting, the stuff your teacher's telling you. That's manipulating whether you have faith or fear. And it's also manipulating how deep or how bad that fear is, and how deep that gets embedded in your subconscious mind. And also can be manipulated as how passionate that faith is, and how deep that faith get embedded in your subconscious mind. And that also goes with, and that goes, I should also mention that goes for religion also. Religion also thrives on faith and fear. Lots of religions thrive on creating a lot of fear in order for you to have faith, which makes it hard for you for when you get some other information about that faith, it's hard for you to let that go, because the fear that got embedded in your subconscious mind from what your religious leaders were telling you, built the faith that now you have this belief in the unknown, and you consider it real even though you can't see it. So that's depending on how your perspective on the religious thing or the spiritual thing. That could be good or bad. It's just depending on what you do with that energy. Okay, lives and dies via your environment. Now this goes basically, that's related to that, because this fear that could possibly be in your subconscious mind lives and dies via your environment. So if you're in an environment that's not conducive for your evolvement, as in other words, if you're in an environment where you're around negative people, you're in an environment where the people you're around aren't trying to achieve anything better in life, if you're in an environment where there's a lot of negative or a lot of bad energy, as far as people who aren't trying to achieve something, who aren't not headed in a good direction, then these faith and fear lives and dies in your environment. So if you have this fear of being an outcast of your social circle, and your social circle is of people who aren't really trying to do better for themselves, then that fear will live, because your environment is requiring that you stay in fear of being an outcast, or else you can't be part of that group. Faith also lives and dies in the environment, like the church or the religious or the spiritual scenario. If you're in the right environment, then that will build up your faith and whatever you're trying to do. Like, whether it could be good or bad, but your faith in that thing depends on your environment. So if you're around a lot of positive people, a lot of people who are high achievers, a lot of people who are always looking to improve themselves, then your faith in whatever you're going to achieve or try to achieve will thrive, will live very strong. Like I said, if you're around by a lot of negative people, that faith dies, fear lives. If you're in a positive environment, faith lives, fear dies. So, and that will take me to my nifty little sine wave here. So, like I said in the beginning, faith and fear is the same power, but only differ by direction or degree. And you can also say and degree. But they're the same power and they only differ by direction and degree. So you say, well, how is that possible? You got 90 degrees, 180 degrees, which is, this, of course, the line is neutral. So you got positive. Faith is positive energy. So it's positive 90. 180 is neutral energy. Fear, negative 270. Then 360 is neutral energy again, because you came full circle. Now, these actually, you can't have one without the other. Like, you can't have faith, and no fear. You can't have fear, and no faith, because actually they rely on each other. Your faith relies on you having fear, and your fear relies on you having faith. But they differ by degree. So, like I said, it's the same power. So how is it the same power when these numbers are different? Because these are all the same number. They look different, but when you look at them closely, more deeply, and break them down to their base, they're the same. So you have 0, which is, like I said, neutral. But we have 90. What is 90? 9 plus 0. 9. 180. What's 1 plus 8? 9. 270. What's 7 plus 2? 9. 360. What's 3 plus 6? 9. So like I said, this is all the same power. Because as you see, when you break them down to their base number, their root number, it's all the same energy. 9's all the way across. Only thing different is the degree. The degree is different. You got negative 9, positive 9, neutral 9. So, like I said, your faith requires that there are things that you fear, like fear of failure. Like if you have faith in your success, then the opposite end of that is your fear of not achieving the thing you're trying to achieve. If you have fears of, getting sick and these other things, it requires you to have faith in the information you have that's causing you to have those fears. So they go hand in hand. The question is, which one will rule your life? And that's up to you. That's your decision. Will you let faith rule your life and allow you to prosper and live in abundance and live happy and joyful and in health? Or you want to let fear run your life where you're constantly being led around by your fears? Because fears will allow people to, fears equals, you see that? Fear equals others control you. That's what fear equals. Faith equals you control you. So that's your decision to make. Will you have faith that you can achieve the things you want to achieve and go strive to have the life you want to live and do the things you want to do to in order to accomplish the things you want to accomplish? Then you got to have faith in the thing that you're striving to do and in the information you have and the pursuits that you're doing and the actions you're taking. That's you, control you. If you want to live in fear where other people are telling you how to feel and other people are saying, don't do this, don't do that, or this will happen. Don't do this and don't do that, or that'll happen. Don't do this or that, or that'll happen and this will happen. Then others will control you and you'll never, ever have the life you want. You'll have the life they want for you. So that's it for this video. I hope you got some value out of it. If you did, like, share, subscribe. And if you want to check out my 7-step checklist of my daily routine, the things I do every day to keep moving my business forward, that's at the link below this video or the link in my bio, depending on where you see in this video. So like I said, if you got some value out of this one, like, share, subscribe if this is on YouTube, and I will see you in the next one.